Have you ever thought about what it would be like to live in a nursing home? I mean, really thought about it? Maybe you've seen those glossy brochures with smiling seniors sitting by the window, sipping coffee, or playing a game of bingo. It all looks so peaceful, doesn't it? But here's the thing. I've been there, and let me tell you, reality is a lot different from those pictures. If you're watching this, chances are you've either considered moving into a nursing home yourself, or you have a loved one who might need that kind of care someday. Either way, I want to share something important with you today, something I wish someone had told me before I walked through those doors. Nursing homes can provide safety, medical care, and even companionship for many people, but they also come with challenges, realities that aren't always talked about openly. These are things I wasn't prepared for, and they hit me hard when I first experienced them. That's why I'm making this video, to give you a heads up on what to expect and how to navigate these situations if you find yourself facing them. In this video, we'll talk about 7 brutal realities of nursing home life that no one likes to discuss, but everyone should know about. My hope is that by sharing my story, you'll feel more informed and empowered to make decisions that work best for you or your family. Let's start with the first reality, the loss of independence. You know, when I first moved into a nursing home, I thought I'd still have some control over my daily routine. After all, I was used to doing things my way, making my own meals, deciding when to take a walk, even choosing what time to go to bed. But the truth is, living in a nursing home means following someone else's schedule. Breakfast is served at a certain time, medications are handed out at specific intervals, and activities happen according to a set plan. At first, I found myself feeling frustrated. I missed the freedom to just grab a snack whenever I wanted or stay up late reading, without worrying about disturbing anyone. It took me a while to adjust to this new rhythm of life, and honestly, it wasn't easy. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, here's what helped me cope. Finding small ways to reclaim a sense of autonomy. For example, I started keeping a few snacks in my room so I could munch on something when I felt hungry between meals. I also learned to communicate with the staff about my preferences. They're human too, and most of them genuinely want to help. The key is to speak up kindly but firmly. Remember, adapting doesn't mean giving up completely. It just means learning to thrive within the boundaries you're given. Now, let's move on to the second reality, isolation. This one surprised me more than anything else. Before moving into the nursing home, I imagined it would be bustling with activity, people chatting in the hallways, residents gathering for games, maybe even impromptu sing-alongs. And sure, there were moments like that, but they were far less frequent than I expected. What I didn't realize was how easy it is to feel lonely in a place where everyone is focused on their own struggles. Some residents spent hours alone in their rooms because they didn't feel comfortable joining group activities. Others simply didn't have visitors anymore, whether because their families lived far away or because relationships had drifted apart over time. I'll admit, there were days when I felt invisible, like nobody noticed if I showed up for an activity or not. But then I realized something important. You have to create connections yourself. Sitting back and waiting for others to reach out rarely works. So, I made it a point to introduce myself to other residents, even if it felt awkward at first. I joined a book club and started attending art classes, which gave me a chance to meet people who shared my interests. Over time, those little efforts added up, and I built friendships that made the days brighter. If you're considering a nursing home or helping someone else transition into one, don't underestimate the power of taking initiative to build community. Now that we've covered the loss of independence and isolation, let's talk about the third reality, the quality of care. While nursing homes aim to provide excellent care, the level of attention each resident receives can vary widely depending on staffing levels and individual circumstances. During my time there, I saw firsthand how stretched thin the caregivers often were. They cared deeply about their jobs, but with so many residents needing assistance, it sometimes felt like they couldn't give each person the time and attention they deserved. There were mornings when I waited longer than I should, have for help getting dressed, Or evenings when dinner trays arrived cold because the staff was overwhelmed. Of course, not every interaction was negative. There were plenty of compassionate aides who went above and beyond to ensure residents felt comfortable and respected. But the inconsistency was hard to ignore. One thing that helped me manage this challenge was learning to advocate for myself. If something wasn't right, I spoke up politely but firmly. I also kept notes about any recurring issues so I could address them with the management team during our regular meetings. Advocacy isn't always easy, especially if you're not used to speaking up, but it's crucial for ensuring your needs are met. Now that we've explored these three realities, the loss of independence, isolation, and variability in care quality, we're ready to dive deeper into the next ones. Let's continue this conversation and uncover more truths about nursing home life together. The fourth reality that caught me off guard was the emotional toll of watching others decline. When you live in a nursing home, you're surrounded by people who are often dealing with serious health issues or advanced stages of aging. It's not uncommon to form bonds with fellow residents, especially when you spend so much time together. But here's the hard part. Those friendships don't always last. I remember meeting a woman named Margaret during my first week. She had the most infectious laugh and loved telling stories about her grandchildren. We became close friends, sharing meals and chatting for hours. Then one day, she wasn't there anymore. Her health had taken a turn, and she passed away quietly in her sleep. It's moments like that which hit you harder than you'd expect. You start to realize how fragile life is and how quickly things can change. At first, I found myself pulling back emotionally, afraid to get too attached to anyone else. But over time, I came to understand that connection, even if it's temporary, is still worth it. Those relationships bring joy and meaning to your days, even if they end sooner than you'd hope. If you ever find yourself in this situation, my advice is to cherish the moments you have without letting fear hold you back. Celebrate the good times, and when someone leaves, take comfort in knowing you made their journey a little brighter. Now, let's talk about the fifth reality: adapting to a new sense of identity. This one sneaks up on you because it's not something you think about until you're living it. Before moving into the nursing home, I had a clear sense of who I was. I was active, independent, and involved in my community. Suddenly, though, I felt stripped of those roles. Instead of being known as a teacher, volunteer, or neighbor, I was now the resident in room 214. It sounds silly, but losing that sense of purpose was incredibly disorienting. I missed feeling useful, like I was contributing something valuable to the world. What helped me regain a sense of self was finding ways to stay engaged. Some nursing homes offer opportunities to mentor younger staff members, lead group activities, or assist with simple tasks around the facility. Even small gestures, like helping another resident learn how to use their phone or offering words of encouragement, reminded me that I still had something to give. Rediscovering my purpose didn't happen overnight, but it made all the difference in how I viewed my place in this new chapter of life. As we move forward, let's explore the sixth reality: navigating financial stress. For many seniors, the cost of nursing home care is a significant burden. Even if you've saved diligently throughout your life, the expenses can add up faster than you anticipate. Between medical bills, room fees, and additional services, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. I know several residents who constantly worried about whether they'd run out of money before they ran out of time. And unfortunately, that anxiety spills over into other areas of life, making it harder to enjoy the present moment. If you're facing this challenge, or helping a loved one prepare for it, there are steps you can take to ease the strain. Start by reviewing your financial options early. Look into government programs, insurance coverage, and potential family contributions. Don't hesitate to ask questions and seek advice from professionals who specialize in elder care planning. Transparency is key. Understanding what you're paying for and why can help reduce some of the uncertainty. Most importantly, try to focus on what you can control rather than dwelling on worst-case scenarios. Financial stress won't disappear overnight, but taking proactive steps can lighten the load. Finally, let's address the seventh and perhaps most challenging reality: coming to terms with mortality. Living in a nursing home forces you to confront the inevitable in ways that everyday life doesn't. Whether it's witnessing the passing of friends, grappling with your own declining health, or simply reflecting on the passage of time, death becomes an undeniable presence. At first, I tried to push these thoughts aside, pretending they didn't exist, but avoiding them only made the fear grow stronger. Eventually, I realized that acknowledging mortality doesn't have to be morbid. It can actually be freeing. Talking openly about your feelings with trusted friends, family members, or counselors can make a big difference. Writing letters to loved ones, creating memory books, or documenting your life story are also meaningful ways to process these emotions. For me, embracing this reality meant focusing on gratitude. Each morning, I'd remind myself of 3 things I was thankful for, no matter how small. It shifted my perspective from what I'd lost to what I still had. And that made all the difference. So there you have it, the 7 brutal realities of nursing home life that I wish I'd been prepared for. From the loss of independence and isolation to the emotional weight of watching others decline. Each challenge taught me something valuable about resilience and adaptation. Navigating financial stress and redefining my sense of identity weren't easy, but they pushed me to grow in unexpected ways. And while confronting mortality remains one of the hardest truths, it's also one of the most transformative. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Whether you're considering a nursing home for yourself or supporting a loved one through the transition, knowledge is power. By understanding these realities, you can approach them with courage and grace. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you experienced any of these challenges? Or do you have advice for others going through similar situations? Share your story in the comments below. You never know who might need to hear it. Before we wrap up, I want to encourage you to like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe to our channel for more content designed to support seniors and their families. Together, we can build a community where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. Here's to living your best life at any age. You've got this.